Hello, everybody. All right, now, as always, I'm a little late to the party because, of course, I had to work during the Game Awards, but I finally had a moment to kind of sit down and kind of go through everything that was announced and take notes and watch everything from front to back. Now, I will say this, before we get into the awards, I thought it was pretty funny that they had Christopher Judge up there. He's the guy that played Kratos in the last two God of War games. He made a joke about giving a long speech last year. That was funny, but it was kind of annoying as the show went on. This is the Game Awards. You're awarding the people that made these games for whatever category, right? But you're rushing their acceptance speech. Like, it felt so rushed. Like, there were so many different moments where it's like they're in the middle of saying something and they just start playing the music in the background, and it's totally like stealing their moment. So I know that there's some discussion of how do you balance these? You have the awards and then you have the new game announcements, and they're kind of conflicting, but it felt a little out of place. I think they should just build time in for people to go long, and you can't just let them ramble on and on forever. But if you go through and watch this, I felt like some of it was so rushed. They just got up there, they just started talking, and then the music started wrapping up like right after. It's like, this is their moment. Like, how many games are they going to make? And they finally get awarded, and you cut them off, and I don't know. It just felt a little rushed. Shout out to Suicide Squad. They did try to bait me in with the Gorillaz music playing in the background. I thought that was pretty cool, but I'm still probably not going to play it because DC has kind of lost me lately. I don't know what their fascination is with the Suicide Squad, why we need to have two different Suicide Squad movies and then a game. And I guess they're fine. Harley Quinn's fine, but is she really that much of a draw for two movies and a game and her Birds of Prey? That's a tangent for another day. But I didn't realize that there was another Castlevania anime out on Netflix. They made a passing reference to this during the show, but apparently back in September of this year, Castlevania Nocturne came out. And yeah, I'm definitely going to go get a Netflix subscription after this and start watching it, because I love the first Netflix adaptation of Castlevania. So I really want to see that. I think that's going to be sweet. Now, going into the awards, we had Super Mario Wonder winning Best Family Game. I totally agree with that. That was my whole sentiment when I was playing through the game. It was perfect. Pikmin 4 should not have even been on that list. The multiplayer in Pikmin 4 was so garbage compared to Pikmin 3. I don't know. It's almost like they completely went away from the family game aspect, and I don't know. But I totally agree. Super Mario Wonder was great. I think they definitely deserve that. Then we go to Best Performance. This is one of Baldur's Gate's many awards during this ceremony. You had Neil Newbon go up there. He was like hamming it up, and it was cool to see Baldur's Gate get this much recognition in the show, because we've been playing it as a multiplayer game throughout, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a great game, but I don't know. I feel like we're missing out on some of the performances because we don't have any of the side characters with us. We're missing out on all their story beats. It's literally just the characters we make. So I do kind of want to go back and play through it again because I love Baldur's Gate 2 so much, and the game is awesome. It definitely deserved all of these awards. Then we have Alan Wake 2 getting Best Narrative. That was pretty sweet. Now, I have not played Alan Wake 2. I'm working on it. So I don't have a lot of time to play games. As you know, I have a full-time job. I got the YouTube channel. I got a baby and all this stuff. So I'm working on Alan Wake 1. I never played it back in the day. I'm enjoying it, but my plan is to play that and then move on to Alan Wake 2 because I've heard really good things about both games, and I definitely feel left out. So more to come with that. Then we have Best Action Game of the Year. They gave it to Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. I totally see that. Armored Core 6 was awesome. Now, I eventually fell off of the game and didn't beat it, but I really enjoyed it. It was a great game. I love From Software, but to me, I just didn't vibe with the whole mechs, and there were issues I had with the game that weren't...
You suck!
Yeah, I get it. I hear where you guys are all coming from, but I just kind of fell off it. So, I don't know. Fires of Rubicon, great. Best Action Game of the Year. I totally agree with that. I can totally see why that won. Then we have Best Art Direction, Alan Wake 2. Again, I'm going to play it. It looks sweet. I could see how Alan Wake 1 was so unique, and I can only imagine what they're doing with Alan Wake 2. And then we have Best Music and Score. And by the way, I'm only going over the awards that I know and feel like I can talk about because Best audio design going to Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know anything about that, but I did play Final Fantasy 16, and that won Best Score and Music. And that game really did have awesome music and an awesome score. Like, playing through that game, there were so many hype moments that just kind of blew me away. So I know right now George is playing through my copy of Final Fantasy 16, and I can't wait to see what he thinks because it's a great game and so cinematic. Best Independent Game of the Year went to Sea of Stars. I haven't played that game. I'm interested in it, and I'm hoping Santa Claus brings me a PlayStation Portal for Christmas, and I'm just wondering if I might start that game. So, most anticipated game of the year went to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I tried to play the first one, and I just couldn't get through it. It was way too hard, so I may go back to that at some point, because I really liked Final Fantasy 16, and I feel like I should be a natural mark for the Final Fantasy games, and I just haven't been able to get into it. So I don't know where to start with Final Fantasy. I feel like it's lost in me, but 16 was very good. Best adaptation went to The Last of Us. That was sick. I totally love that show. I can't wait for season 2, and I want to see what they're doing going forward. And, this might be the year of The Last of Us, because I'm going to jump into that Last of Us 2 remaster for PS5, and I think I'm just going to hold off on that. I started it, but I'm going to finish it on PS5 after that update comes out because I want all of the graphical fidelity. And then I want to see what they do for Season 2 of The Last of Us. So, Best Action Adventure Game went to Tears of the Kingdom. I had my problems with this game. I don't really get all of the hype around Tears of the Kingdom. It was good. It had everything that Breath of the Wild had. And then they added on all these building mechanics and stuff, which was fine. You had your Infinity Gauntlet, but I think this kind of shows, like, just looking through a very narrow lens, right? Just through the Game Awards, they only got this one award. So I think that kind of says something. Like, it's a great game, but didn't really do a lot new. It wasn't crazy. It didn't blow my socks off. Some of the little cutscenes were cool, but I felt like it was way overblown. It's just my opinion. Sorry. Best RPG of the year went to Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, the game is fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. It really is a unique game. Like, playing through it, it's cool that you can play through it solo. You have all these different story options. You can play through it multiplayer. It really just lets you role play in a way I haven't seen in a long time. So we're going to have like a official Baldur's Gate 3 review whenever we beat Baldur's Gate 3. But more to come with that later. First, we want to end the Baldur's Gate Let's Play series. And then after we beat it, we'll come back and you'll see more. Best sim/strategy went to Pikmin 4. I get it. Pikmin 3 was very strategic and I liked it. Pikmin 4 I didn't play because the multiplayer got totally lopped off. But fine, if you want to give that to Pikmin 4, that's good. I heard it was a good game. Best multiplayer went to Baldur's Gate 3. Obviously, for everything that I've just said, Baldur's Gate 3 was awesome. Okay? The multiplayer of that game is awesome. I love playing through it with Alex and Josh and Chase. We're having a blast. But then when you look at the competition, it's like Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Is it really better than those for multiplayer? I mean, Diablo 4 is a great game. I played through it. I loved it. I beat it. But I didn't really do that much multiplayer. I played with Chase a little bit. I played with Tyler a little bit, but not that much where I could say it's really better than Baldur's Gate 3, but Diablo 4 would be a strong contender in that. I would maybe say Diablo 4 gets second place in that category, maybe. Super Mario Bros. Wonder was really an awesome... that's really tough. I mean, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is very good, and the multiplayer was very good. Does Baldur's Gate 3 really deserve best multiplayer? It's debatable, but I see why they did it. Baldur's Gate 3 shows up again with Player's Choice. They had their category that they wanted to give to the audience, and the players picked Baldur's Gate 3. And then Alan Wake 2 got Best Game Direction. This award ceremony really made me want to hurry up and beat Alan Wake 1 so I could get started on Alan Wake 2 because the clips look awesome from the Game Awards, so I definitely have to do that. And then lastly, we're arriving at the Game of the Year. So the choices were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Tears of the Kingdom, and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. So I agree with what they did here. Partially, I don't have a full picture here, but Marvel's Spider-Man 2, from what I've seen, it doesn't really do a lot new. It's just more of Spider-Man 1. They tighten it up a little bit. Cool storytelling, but does it really deserve Game of the Year? What is so unique with Marvel's Spider-Man 2? So I get why that's not in there. And again, I'm not the biggest fan of Tears of the Kingdom, so I can see why that didn't win in this category either. It was a fine game. There was nothing really wrong with it, but it's just more Breath of the Wild with Infinity Gauntlet stuff tacked on top of it. So I'm not the biggest fan of that. And then Resident Evil 4, it's a remake of a game that came out years ago. So how are you going to give that Game of the Year? What did it really do that was so new and groundbreaking? So then Alan Wake 2, obviously, I don't have much to say. And Super Mario Bros. Wonder was awesome. But again, it's a Mario game with a lot of improvements on it, but it's still a Mario game. So I totally see why they picked Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is awesome, and I can't recommend it enough. If you haven't played that game, you should definitely go check it out. It's really fun, and it's unique, and it's got a charm to it,
I didn't expect it anymore. Thank you so much. A game like Baldur's Gate 3 isn't possible if you don't have an incredible team working on it. And the team at Larian spent their hearts and souls for 6 years on this game in sometimes very difficult circumstances. This was our COVID game. Along the way, we lost quite a few people also. So we want to dedicate this to all the people we lost, and especially to Jim, our lead cinematic artist, who passed away in the last month. I want to thank over 2,000 people, so sit back and relax. But I also want to thank everybody that supported us throughout this entire effort. Our families, our friends, our partners. You were the best, and without you, we couldn't have done it. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me know in the comments section below. Do you think they gave him enough time to speak during the award ceremony? Or was it extremely rushed? Until next time, I'll see you later. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/GrouchyGus94 to help support the channel.